Hi, my name is Alyssa Gutierrez, and today I will be pitching my business idea. In order to begin, I'm going to share my screen, and we will begin with the presentation. So my business idea that I'm pitching today is called AGAVE. It is a restaurant bar with Mexican ambiance, authentic Mexican food, and tequila tasting. So my value proposition statement is step into AGAVE for a Mexican getaway. What's the problem? The problem is that a lot of people, well, specifically right now with coronavirus, people are staying inside their homes. Travel will be hit immensely. A lot of people will be traveling, so you won't see a lot of Mexican vacations on Instagram soon. So with the coronavirus, the precautions are being lifted soon here in Los Angeles, and people just want to go outside and have a good time. And maybe that includes going to a temporary Mexican getaway, a temporary Mexican vacation. So that's what agave is, and that's the problem they're going to be solving. Another problem is maybe they want to provide a different type of food culture, different food experience. This isn't your typical burger place or your typical taco place. It's going to be real authentic food and good food. It's not going to be fancy schmancy food. It's going to be delicious and worth the money. So the solution, the solution is providing that getaway experience, that vacation experience in one place. So meeting with your friends, having cocktails, margaritas in a nice outside area, tequila tasting as if you were in Puerto Vallarta, and just being very indulged and completely engulfed in the Mexican culture. Some competitive advantages that I have over some competitors of mine. So here I listed out a slide or kind of a table. And my biggest competitor is the waterfront in Venice, California. They have a similar style to what I want to do, but the only difference that really kind of makes me stand out is having that Mexican style and tequila tasting. Rock and Brews is also a close competitor. They're an American restaurant. They have an outside area. They have a wide choice of beers and a big wide menu. Frida's is also a modern Mexican restaurant. They have multiple locations. They're very nice, but you don't really get, that fun Mexican feeling. Soul is similar, and so I also included a kind of a hole in the wall, kind of what locals know here in Los Angeles as Paco's Tacos. Really good Mexican food, Mexican ambiance inside, but they don't really offer venue rentals, live music, or tequila tasting. So I have a couple of revenue streams. The first includes a purchase fee of food and drinks. And then a second purchase fee would be my tequila tasting packages. So you could purchase a tequila tasting package just by entering the restaurant and just going to the side and purchasing one, or you can also get a free one included in your tequila tasting. You can really use these for anything as gifts, display them in your home, really do anything with them. Another feature that I will have is rental fee. So I will also be renting out my venue area for parties, meetings, really anything you want. There will be a separate space for that. Also a rental fee for vendors. 3 times a month, I want some Latino vendors to come to Agave and really have kind of like a food truck style, but with vending, like vendings and everything. I will also be charging rental fee for that, and also a rental fee for live music and musicians. Lastly, I have a service fee. The service fee is for tequila tasting. You pay a separate fee for that, and you get a whole wide variety of tequila, and you get to take a tequila tasting package home along with you. So what is the market potential? So first, as my closest competitor, the waterfront, my service obtainable market would be about 1 million. With my SAM, my service available market, if I were to franchise in California, have a few restaurants open around there, it would be around $10 million. And then if for my total available market, my dream market, having agaves all over the United States, it would be well over $80 million. what does my cost structure look like? So depending on average, about 60% margin on food and drinks and everything else. Um, the margin is a little higher with food. It'll cost about $7 a plate, and then I would sell it for 17. With drinks, it would also be higher because it would cost me about $3 a cocktail, and I would be able to sell that for $12. So my major fixed cost would be rent. In order to be in a nice area with the clientele that I am searching for and the lot that I'm searching for, it would be about $540,000 for 3 years. My second cost would be salaries and wages for full-time employees, and an average of 7 employees over a 3-year course period, and that would also be $544,000. My third biggest cost would also be kitchen and bar equipment. Just to be fully loaded, be $100,000 out the door. And lastly, insurance and alcohol licenses. This is my break-even analysis. It includes revenue, fixed costs, variable costs, and total costs. According to my pro forma budget, I would be breaking even at around 22 months. So key sources, activities, and partners. Yes, this looks really complicated, but this shows how many moving parts go along in a business. So Agave, the restaurant itself, is at the top. I look forward to having multiple partners with Agave. First partner being either a tequila supplier or produce supplier. Another partner being, maybe someone from the outside or even maybe a vendor if they would be willing to partner up with me. So it all begins with the produce and tequila suppliers and then with transportation. So with these two things, I'm going to need people to manage the supply and the transport. Also, I will need legal services to create contracts for each of these moving parts. Also, contracts for people who create my websites and do advertisement for Agave, and contracts for staff. So this just shows that there's a lot of moving things, and this is a simpler version. There's more complicated things that go on, but just a general idea of how many moving parts that go into Agave. So in order to test out the experience of Agave, I would be doing an MVP type of a concierge. So basically I would be imitating the ambiance and the experience of Agave in my own home. So I would make the food, make the drinks, do tequila tasting, have music here in my backyard. And really just invite a group of friends over, colleagues, maybe some neighbors, and just get their thoughts about it. And my hypothesis would be about 80% of the people would agree to repeat an experience like Agave or be willing to pay for an experience like Agave. But I think it would be a little higher. That was more on the lower end, but definitely a high percentage would be willing to repeat that experience. So my go-to market strategy, I want a variety of market strategies, using social media, Yelp, my website, having signs outside the doors, and having maybe a huge tequila piñata outside of Agave. And for example, say participate at piñata night at Agave for a free sample of tequila, something like that. I really want to imitate what Frontline did, the company for dogs, fleas and ticks. Just something that can really grab your attention and be interested in what that could bring in and want you to step inside Agave for that escape. My marketing strategy for the long term, I really want to mirror what Corona does with their marketing strategy. I really love Corona's marketing strategy. Every time you open a Corona, you think of those commercials of being on a beach, or you think of those posters of being on a beautiful white sand beach, and you feel relaxed and you feel something when you open a Corona bottle. I want that exact thing for Agave. When you go to Agave, I want you to feel like you are in Mexico. I want you to feel like you're on vacation in Mexico, and I really want to sell that. I also want to build a good relationship with my customers. So that includes promotions, having discounts, buying their plates, buying their drinks, just having, a really good relationship with them. Also just provide deals. For example, buy a tequila tasting and get one free tequila package included. Parties of 10 or more get a free tequila tasting. And just really want to sell that vibe and sell hospitality as well. My future vision and call to action. This is Why is this profitable and why is this the best time to do it? And why am I the best candidate? I believe that I'm the best candidate because I have the connections and the knowledge in order to be successful. First and foremost, my family is from Guadalajara, Mexico, and we do have family members who own tequila farms. So right there, I could already have suppliers and connections to other tequila farms and producers. Second, my family is just a long line of chefs, including my dad. He owns a small business Mexican restaurant, and so we have the knowledge and the authenticity to really be successful for authentic Mexican food and authentic Mexican alcohol. So, why is this a good time now? With the coronavirus, as I mentioned earlier, people will not be traveling and people will really be seeking that feeling of being on vacation and seeking that escape. So, I want to be able to be there to provide that escape. And lastly, this can be very profitable with the right resources and with the right person. And I am the right person to do this. My vision. So in order to show my proactivity as an entrepreneur and for this business, I reached out to an architect friend of mine and basically I drew out what I wanted Agave to look like and he made that possible through some rendering and through some architect programs. So here is just a general idea of what I want Agave to look like, a bird's view. To the left here would be kind of the vending and rental space for parties and groups, and also for vendors that would be coming 3 times a month to Agave. It's very large. You can have kind of like a farmer's market feel here for the vendors where customers can come in, walk around, see what food they want. Also, parties can really just do whatever they want with the space. We can bring in tables, we can do catering for them, tequila tasting setup, everything. To the right is where I would have live music and tables. This would be more of the dining outside area, you know, with nice lights, palms, everything. So that is just an idea of what I wanted Agave to look like and show my proactivity as an entrepreneur. Agave is more than a restaurant and a bar. I really want this to have meaning to it. I want this to be an inclusive business. I want to include the community that I want to help and benefit from the business. So that includes the marginalized groups here in Los Angeles, you know, hiring undocumented immigrants, hiring people from the Latino community, hiring homeless people, or hiring anyone who is marginalized here in our communities. Also, I want to bring awareness. I don't want this to be a political restaurant or bar. I just want to bring awareness that all this produce and all this great food and all this great tequila and all this great music comes from Mexico, which is a beautiful place. And I really want to change the stigma of Mexico and remind people that beautiful things come out of a beautiful place. And also I want to have alignment with the community around me and something that will really benefit the community in the long term. Also helping other business owners. Being an inclusive business, I want to help small businesses in Mexico, small business owners in Mexico, small business owners here in LA, also farmers in Mexico, everything. Helping other business owners will be shown when I do have vendors here 3 times a month. I know it's a difficult time right now for restaurant owners, but having those vendors 3 times a month will really get them to have some exposure and also be a little bit profitable for them and just help out and really create a community feeling. Key takeaways that I want you to understand is Agave is an experience. You go there and you literally step into another world. And I wanted to feel that you are on your Mexican vacation and you are enjoying that margarita on a beach. Second, it has multiple revenue streams. This business has the keys and the tools to be profitable. And lastly, this business will help the community. It will be very aware and take ownership and accountability for all that it does, and also help people around them, small business owners, and really have a community feeling. And that is Agave. So thank you for your time. I hope you consider Agave and really invest in my idea. Thank you.